Had an uneventful trip through Minnesota. Got to stop at Redwood Falls for lunch, which was nice. The next day we went to the Como Zoo and Conservatory, which is free and fun, and we met some interesting animals there. But then Titus's orthodontic appliance stopped working well, so he made a big trip bingo check and went to the orthodontist, where they decided it was all fine and could be taken out, while the rest of us played at the playground. And afterwards, we went to Battle Creek Waterworks, a county water park that they had almost to themselves, until the day camp descended, which gave them lots more folks to play with. It was fun. And we also learned that water skiing was invented 100 years ago in Minnesota. So we walked up from our campground to the evening water ski show that they put on every Thursday at 7. And we're treated to history through the decades of water skiing in the U.S. I hit that jump. Hey crew, what'd you think of Minnesota?
Best water I've had since Idaho.
The water was pretty good here. 10,000 lakes. Hey, thoughts about cheese curds?
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward. And squeaky cheese.
Squeaky cheese? We'll find out.
My hips are flying bottom part out, so I might be able to eat them more easily.
Oh yeah, with our little orthodontic emergency, you now have a little bit more freedom. We'll see what we get. First, we were amused by the Wisconsin county roads, which are all labeled with single letters and are in no sense alphabetical. They just show up all over the place. Then we found double letters, as though they had run out, even though they'd been using the same 7. Then they put 2 together, and finally we got 2 triple letter county roads, and we never could make rhyme or reason of it. Well, we made it to the Marika Gouda Cheese Factory and Dairy, and the kids are currently enjoying the giant jump bubble before we take our tour. The tour of the cheese factory was wonderful. It was like something out of Mr. Rogers. We got to watch the cattle being milked and then headed back to the barn, and then they gave us special little extra footwear and let us check out the barn where the majority of the cattle were hanging out. They even have these large roller brushes that the cattle use. They call it their cattle spa. We got to see the calf that was born yesterday, and some of the older calves were in the pen feeding, so the kids got to play with them. And then when we went outside, we got to see the calf holding area, which of course the kids got a kick out of. And after we had our fill of cute calves, we got to go into the observation area and watch the cheese be made. The vats that stir it, and then it drains into the other one where they separate and mold the cheese into those buckets behind it. Then they have vats of brine where it soaks, and they have special wooden shelves where it ages. All right, crew, what do you think? Deep fried cheese curds? Kind of. Really I'll take them then. And the kids were having such a good time on the jump pillow that we ended up staying long enough that the fresh cheese curds from the milk that we had watched milk came out at 2:30, and we were able to purchase and eat a bag as fresh as they come. And when we got to our campsite, the kids got to experience some of my East Coast childhood, hunting for fireflies. And the repair we did on the front panel held from De Smet, South Dakota all the way to OshKosh, so I'm gonna let it ride. But we did pick up some extreme roof tape for RVs. In case it comes apart, we have a giant roll of 6-inch adhesive tape that's supposed to stick to anything. So hopefully that'll get us through the trip. Big destination for Wisconsin was the OshKosh Fly-In, which we had one-day tickets for and had every intention of getting there early, but we did not quite get to OshKosh because apparently our campsite is next to Kelly's Creamery, which is the best ice cream in Wisconsin. I was skeptical, but upon a little more internet research, apparently it does top every list, so we have to stop and get ice cream, I guess. So what do we think? Was it worth the stop, boys? After an hour's worth of parking and driving and walking, we have made it to Boeing Plaza at the OshKosh Fly-In. And we're about to walk through whatever that is. We did get to go to the museum as well, and they had some neat exhibits. The kids got to experience some of the fighter jets they were going to get to see that night at the air show. Well, we've made it to the last stop on our OshKosh Airventure adventure. How did it go, Titus? What did we do today?
We went swimming and then went to a really good ice cream shop. And then we came to OshKosh. And because we left at 12:30, we had no parking options really except for the red lot. Came here and discovered that the place we wanted to be, Kids Venture, was all the way at the other end of the entire thing. So we walked, what do you think, Mom, 2 miles?
At least.
To the Kids Venture, only to find out that it had closed at 3:30 and it was now 4:30. So we went to a really cool museum where I lost my hat. And then a bus driver gave us a ride halfway back here.
And now we're getting ready for the air show, and he's wearing my hat. The night air show was definitely worth staying for. The traffic on the ride home was ridiculous, to the point that the last thing Jenny said to me before going to bed at 12:02 a.m. was, "Happy birthday, Dad."